Yes, boys, we need to talk, so let's talk real quick. I need to talk to you guys. You got this. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You got this. Now, somebody needs to see this video. I don't know, it could be one person, it could be thousands, right? Whoever needs to see this video, you're watching this video on purpose. You are probably struggling right now, having a lot of doubt. Maybe you don't think trading is real. Maybe you don't think that you can make it as a trader. Maybe you feel like, nah, this can't be true. This is not for me. I've been through that. I get it. I've been through that 10 times worse than you. Trust me on this one, right? And the only thing I can say is I believe in you. I believe you can do it, but that's not enough. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you can do it too, because at the end of the day, it's you, right, that's going to press the buy button. You have to put your stop loss at the correct price. You have to stop trading when you know it's time to stop trading. You have to make sure you follow your rules every single day. So I can motivate you. I can, inspire you. I can give you gems. I can show you my strategies. I can give you gems. I can do everything that I know I can do, right, to help you. But guess what? You have to believe in yourself. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I know you can do it because I did it. Right? It took me a long time. I'm not gonna lie. It took me like 8 years, right? A long time when it came to just basically trading the markets. But overall, right, I was able to, make it from trading. And I'm just a regular guy from Queens, New York, that was lonely, living in my mom's basement, didn't know what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. When I graduated high school, I basically took a year off, right? Didn't know really what I wanted to do. And I finally said, all right, let me go to automotive school, okay? Because at the time, me and my brothers, we was basically, into cars. So I went to that. I went to that for 2 years. After I graduated and got certified, I worked for Pep Boys. And then after that, I worked for Honda, the dealership. I was working on cars. And then, what really got me into the entrepreneur world was my brothers, right? They had a shop because, we was basically racing cars, right? We was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious movie came out. Trust me. We was racing on the streets. We had, a crew. We was rolling mad deep. We was, racing Hondas, Acuras, all the Japanese cars, right? And, we had turbo, nitrous, everything. And we was racing on the streets. We was racing for money. It was nuts. Like, I mean, if you, man, that joint was tough. Like, so many people, right? We would meet like late night, maybe around 12 o'clock, 1 p.m. This is a.m. at night, bro. It'd be like packed. And then sometimes the cops would come, break it up. We would run, right? I remember one time I got chased by the cops. I'm like, man. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to play myself. I'm not even going to try to run from the cops. So I pulled over. Cops pulled me over, and my brothers was like, yo, act like you had to go to the bathroom. I'm like, yo. So the cops came over, license and registration. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Yo, they wasn't trying to hear that, bro. I had to go to court, and basically the judge looked at the ticket, was like, yo, you were supposed to get arrested, that day. So they dismissed all the charges because they was like, oh, nah, you were supposed to get arrested that day, dismissed. So I was like, oh, good. But yeah, we was, man, racing, wilding out, right? And, back then, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just basically into cars and girls. That's it. That was my main thing. Because I wasn't really, I didn't really like the clubs like that. Wasn't really trying to, I wasn't really hanging out like that. Wasn't smoking, drinking like that. Like, cars and girls was my thing. That's what I was good at. Eventually, my brothers opened up a shop, high performance shop. We was working on cars, and I remember I was working there like a summer, one summer, and I was like, oh, this is cool, bro. Like, this is like, man, I like working for myself, right? Like, the feeling was, it was hard to describe. I was like, man, I like this, because at the time I was like, yo, man, it's like I was always either getting fired or I was getting laid off. It's like I couldn't keep a job for nothing. It's like, and at the time I didn't know exactly what it was, but just thinking about it now, I know exactly what it was. I wasn't motivated. I hated my jobs. You know, it was just like every time I went to work, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't a good employee. I was just dragging myself in, and you know, just saying, you know, just doing the bare minimum. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't the best. But now I know. I didn't have that burning desire. I wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to go to work. No, I wasn't like that. And then when I was working for them, you know, in the summertime, I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. I want to work for myself. So at the time, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I worked for them for a little bit, and then I started to do my own thing, like buying, selling cars, whatever. And then I finally got into the stock market, you know, the stocks, right? And then, you know, the rest is history. But it took me a long time. You know, I was stubborn. I was trying to learn everything for free, and I wasn't following my rules. It was just a mess, okay? But overall, I'm telling you all this stuff just to let you know, guys, I've been through what you're going through right now, right? And there's days where I'm like, yo, tears coming down my eyes, like, yo, I can't believe this is my life. Like, I have no money at all, bro. I was broke, no money. You know, it was like the world was just caving in. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yo, this can't be my life. So finally, I just had to just lock in and just study. You know, I bought you know, courses and start studying like crazy. And then finally, I started making profits, right? So I'm here to tell you guys, man, if I can do it, you know, because I'm a degular guy. I'm nothing special. You know, barely graduated from high school. So if I can do it, I know you can do it too. So let's talk about the 3 signs that you will see, you know, before you become that unstoppable trader, that profitable trader, right? The first sign is you're not trying to be right. You are trying to focus on the process, right? So I noticed that a lot of new traders, they come in the market, they want to be right. They want to be right. But the question would be, do you want to be right? Or do you want to make money, right? Because believe it or not, those 2 things are not the same. Because a lot of people try to be right, and they force trades. Good example is, let's say you have a bias, right? And you like, oh man, my bias is to the upside. And then the market looks like it's going up, and then all of a sudden it breaks key support, breaking that key support. And then your bias is so strong, like, nah, it has to go up because you want to be right. No, it has to go up. My bias is to the upside. And guess what? You buying, it's breaking more key supports, and you still buying. Why are you buying for? Your bias is not to the upside no more, because now shorts are coming in the market, and now the market is bearish, but you want to be right. You want to be right. Or it could be, you know, something else where you just want to be right. Do you want to be right, or do you want to make money? Because if you can make, you know, if you make money, you can switch your bias. You don't have to like be married to your bias to the point where if your bias is to the upside, you can't switch. Yes, you can switch. You don't have to be bullish all day, right? So to me, I notice where when I'm saying I don't care about being right, all I care about is following my process. And usually when you follow your process, you can actually make money. And once you experience this sign, you are on the right path, right? To being that unstoppable trader. Now the next sign is practicing more than you trade live. If you are practicing more than you trade live, you are on your way. I promise you that. Okay? You're on your way. Because if you look at any type of sport, because I think trading is like a type of a sport, right? NBA, NFL, tennis, boxing. What do these guys have in common? They practice more than they do the real thing, right? If you're a boxer, man, you're going to be in the gym all day practicing, boom, boom, right? If you're a basketball player, you're going to be in the gym practicing all day. If you play tennis, if you play football, it doesn't matter. You're going to be practicing more than you play the real game. So in trading, you have to do the same thing. Bro, you don't understand, bro. I remember when I first started out, I used to back test like crazy. I told you guys before. I used to bring my laptop to work on my lunch break. Flip that bad boy open, look at some charts, study. Even when I was on the bus, because sometimes I used to take the bus and the train to work. Boom, flip out my laptop, especially when the bus was empty. or the train was empty, right? So, just in case somebody be in my business, right? Flip up the laptop, boom, back testing like crazy, bro. So once you get to that point where you are practicing more than you do the real thing, you are definitely on your way, okay? Because I'm telling you right now, that is, man, I love back testing because it helped me a lot to see the market in a real deep way. And the crazy part is most traders in general, they don't do the things that will take them to the next level, and they wonder why they're not profitable, right? In order to be a successful trader, you have to do the opposite of what most traders do, right? Most traders don't back test, they don't journal, they don't work on themselves, right? These are the things that you have to do in order to take it to the next level. And you wonder why you're not successful is because you're basically doing things everyone else is doing, right? And it's like anybody would tell you, in order to be successful, you have to do the opposite of what most people do, right? And those are the things that most people don't do. They don't backtest, they don't work on themselves, they don't journal. So these are the things that you have to work on, man. I'm telling you right now. So once you get to that point where you see that sign where, man, you're practicing more than you're doing the live thing, you're on your way. The third sign is having major confidence. Now, when I say major confidence, I'm not saying being cocky. I'm not saying you know it all. Confidence in a way where all right, bet. If I have a losing week, it is what it is, right? Next week is a new week. I could do better next week, right? That type of confidence. Or if you have a bad day, bet, fine. Tomorrow I'll bounce back, right? Or if I don't bounce back tomorrow, hopefully the next couple of days I'll bounce back. That type of confidence I'm talking about, right? Once you get to that level where you have that confidence where you're not worried or you don't have those doubts. Not saying that you won't go on a losing streak. You're never going to go on a losing streak. Yes, we all do. But just having that confidence saying, all right, bet, I'm in a losing streak, but eventually I'm going to get out this losing streak, right? That type of confidence. Like, I ain't fine, bet. I'm in a losing streak right now. Eventually I know, I'm going to get out this losing streak, right? That type of confidence, And once you experience that sign, that usually means that you study a lot, you know your setup, you know how the market works, and that's why you have that confidence, because you say, all right, bet, it is what it is. I've been through this before. I've been through, a losing streak before, a losing day before. It is what it is, whatever. Once you have that confidence, you're on your way. So these are the signs that you should watch out for, because it would definitely make you understand, like, all right, bet, I'm around the corner. Because guys, you got this, man. Why not you? Why not you? I know you guys see people online and you look at that person like, oh man, I know I'm smarter than that person. I know I can do better than that person. I know I can, if not do better than that person, I can at least do, 10% of what he's doing or 50% of what he's doing, So to me, the question is, why not you? I know you can do it. So now you have to believe in yourself. Now you have to start putting that work, start back testing like crazy, start, working on yourself, start journaling. Like, you have to do the work now. Start working on your routine and follow your rules, because Day Trading Addict believes in you. But that's the only thing I can do. I can't help. I can't force you to do the right things. Now it's your turn. Now you have to do your part. All right. So until then, guys, you know what to do. Make me proud. You got this. All right, we got this. Keep you updated. Until then, guys, we out.